What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So as you've seen in my last video, I was riding the struggle bus. Yeah, the weather wasn't cooperating. I couldn't get the exhaust off, but it is now Saturday and beautiful weather. It's not terribly hot. It's warm, but not terribly hot. And I'm getting to work on Casper. As you can see, I've been making some progress. We have the hood off of it, and the transmission is down in there. So, and let's go over here and look. You may be wondering why I put the transmission in first. It's because I'm putting the engine in with the tunnel ram, and I couldn't get the engine and transmission to swing enough. So yeah, sometimes you just got to do things the hard way. Well, here is the old mid-pipe section off of Casper. This is the exhaust. I've gotten a lot of questions as to why Casper sounded the way that it did, and it's because the X-pipe. People thought I had 180-degree headers and all kinds of crazy things. Nope, just the X-pipe, 3-inch exhaust all the way to the back of the truck. Does have these awesome cutouts for when you're at the track. Too bad I'm not going to be able to reuse this stuff with the new motor combination. You can see where I had my O2 sensors up top. And yes, I've got to cut grass again. All this rain that we got this week has just been terrible. But anyways, so now let's get to work on this old truck. Now that the transmission's in there, the first order of business is getting this thing back down on the ground, getting a jack up underneath the transmission so that when I put the engine in, I can raise or lower the transmission to where it needs to be, and hopefully we can get the engine in Casper today. Fingers crossed, no promises. Got the converter into C4. Once again, I was on the struggle bus because the converter did not want to go into the pump for whatever reason. You'll have to excuse my neighbor just cutting grass. It's finally cooled off a little bit. So now we're going to move to the engine. So there is mixed up boss in all of its glory. Got the motor mounts on it now. Flex plate, yeah, flex plate is torqued, ready to rock and roll. Got the little motor plate, which Ford guys know all about that. Man, look at that. This thing's even rusted from sitting out here. Well, let's get this beast out and introduce it to Casper. This is a big moment, everybody. I've been waiting 2 years for this. You just do not know. All right, I'm gonna start bringing it down. Okay. And then once we get it down so far, then I'll start going back, okay?
Trying to keep it from getting the transmission.
Hang on.
Figure out where you want it.
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
All right, the first obstacle that we're running into with getting this thing in there is the strap against the cowl. And that's all because of the engine being set back further, like I was saying earlier in the video. As you can see, transmission alignment's still not good. So I got to figure something out on this strap. If you want to know the definition of sketchy, this is it. Had to use the orange strap so we could take the back straps off so that it would clear the cowl. Yeah, what could go wrong with this? All right, the current situation is this. I've got to be able to have a mechanism to get the engine angled down so that I can get it into the transmission. So I'm going to work on that tonight. Try to figure something out. May end up just running some ratchet straps through the intake and wrap it around the bar to get it where we need to. I really don't know, but the good thing about it is it looks like everything is going to fit, no issues. I mean, plenty of room down in there, so I don't really see it being an issue of fitment, but that's the way it goes when you work on this. So I'm gonna come back out here in the morning. Round two. Today is Sunday. I've been out here thrashing on Casper, trying to get mixed up balls in there, and man, it's been a struggle. So my camera batteries were dead, and I'm just now getting them charged up. So let's tell you about where I'm at right now. Luckily, mixed up balls is home. The Eagle has landed. Now I had to do some really sketchy stuff to get the engine in all the way, running ratchet straps through the intake, and you can see I chewed up one of my spacers there in the gasket. Luckily I've got more of that stuff, but the important thing is the engine is in. I got a little issue with this motor mount that I've got to address where it's not fitting exactly flush, but I'm battling clouds. So the main object for today was to get the engine transmission mated up together, and that has happened. You're probably going to have to do something with this bracket here on my steering box because it is kind of tight. Let's see if I can see in there, but I think header clearance is going to be okay. I just like to do something with that bracket. Another important note, the reason why I was on the struggle bus, once again, let's go under the truck. Okay, for those of you who are familiar with Fords, knows about the studs on the torque converter coming through the flex plate. Yeah, you see how much room I have between the oil pan and the bell housing. So I had to finagle the converter to get it lined up perfectly with the flex plate so I could get them in there. On a side note, those who are wondering, a competition series full-length pan fits an F100. At least this Milodon does, and that's the reason why I chose this pan, because I measured like 5 times just to make sure, and sure enough, it fits like a glove. But yeah, the struggle always continues. So that pretty much wraps this video up. Mixed up Boss and Casper are now married together. Yes, win. But now, for those of you who know, the real work's just now beginning. I've got to start bolting everything up, plumbing the fuel system, getting the carburetors done, linkage, ignition wires hooked up, all of that fun stuff, cooling system. I don't know how much I'm going to get on video. I'll probably just do updates from time to time, but I wanted you to see mixed up Boss going in Casper because it's pretty special to me, and just one step closer to the No Name Nationals. So once again, this is Andy from Unity Motorsports Garage. I'll catch you later.